Welcome to True Heel Heat, the place where we use insider terms because we think we know what the fuck we're talking about, even though we don't. My name's Maxwell Jacob Friedman, and I'm better than you, and you know it.
Hey everybody, it's Tony Schiavone of All Elite Wrestling, and this is True Heel Heat, and I said it right, you motherfuckers.
Hello, hello, hello. It is me, your True Hill Phenom, SP3. We are live on the True Hill Heat YouTube and Facebook for AEW All in London preview, discussing the huge show this coming Sunday live from Wembley Stadium. Cannot wait. I am here and joined by the princess of all the True Hills, Miss Chrissy Love. How are you doing?
I'm okay. Happy Friday, peeps. What's happening? Hope everyone is well. Everyone is not well, but hi, everybody. Hello. Sending all positive vibes and love to everyone out there in the wrestling world. What's up, SP?
I am doing well, and we are joined by an all-star panel here to talk about AEW All in London. If we're talking AEW, we're previewing a pay-per-view. There's one person I always call. You hear him and see him over on the Late Night Grin and WrestlePurists. He is Joel Hulbert. How you doing, Joe?
I'm doing pretty well, mate. I'm doing well. Always happy to be here. Next week I'll be missing that town, right? Because I'll be in Chicago. Reporting on the ground for that one. So I had to be here for this, and I'm happy to be here. Obviously working the undercard today with Reg on, I'm kind of
come on,
jerking the curtain, I got to get the people warmed up for the main event, so I'm happy to be here.
The main event is our special guest here for this preview. Someone I've been wanting to get back on. I think the last time I had him on, I was in Chicago for All Out last year. I think the last time we had you on the channel here. You hear him and see him every single week on the Grapsody podcast over on Fightful. He's a podcast extraordinaire, interview extraordinaire, rapper extraordinaire, and StarCast stage star, Righteous Reg. What's going on, Righteous Reg?
In the building, it's your boy, Media Man, your favorite rapper, your favorite writer, your favorite podcaster. Very excited to be here. Thank you for having me. Great introduction, Joe. Just come on, man. Come on. You're being silly. Let's definitely get together next week in Chicago. I definitely would love to meet. Very excited to be here. Very excited to preview this giant, the biggest wrestling show of all time, some would say, here today.
Yeah, right off the bat, I wanted to kind of ask you guys, how are you feeling? What is your buzz level? We did that the last time we had Joe on here for a pay-per-view preview, so I'll start with Joe. Scale of 0 to 10, what's the level of buzz for AEW All in London right now?
Well, it's interesting because I do like the card. I think the build has had its ups and downs. I think would be an understatement, right? It's been a roller coaster ride, but ultimately, especially after the week we've had in wrestling, put me at a 10 because I'm going to be there. It's Wembley Stadium.
Yeah.
I'm going to see some of my favorite wrestlers ever wrestle at Wembley Stadium in front of a full house or pretty much full. And I'm going to be with my family too. So honestly, all those gripes, you put them aside, right? At this point, we're almost there, almost showtime. Put me in at 10. I'm ready to go.
What about you, Reg? Where's your scale at?
Yeah, I kind of along the lines of what Joe said here. It's this week has been crazy already. Wrestling, pro wrestling as a whole needs a big win. We're going into what they call the biggest wrestling show of all time. We got Kenny Omega, we got Kota Ibushi, we got Adam Cole, we got MJF, we got a big card. We got Sting. We got Swerve. We got like so much that's happening. I'm so jealous
Super
of Joe
sad.
that's going to be there in the building.
Word.
But yeah, put me at a 10 too, man. This is you know how AEW does. We sometimes get caught up in builds and matches and how long, blah blah blah. But when it's showtime, and I feel like it's going to be like that for All In on Sunday.
Yeah.
Agree with you there. They always show out when it comes pay-per-view time. Chrissy, what's your scale at for the buzz for All In?
I don't want to echo what everyone else says, but yeah, it's out of 10. This is a big show. I didn't know I would ever get to see a show with all these guys on one card.
Right.
And now if we can get a mashup and get this like another Forbidden Door and get all these other people to come, but the other guys don't think they want to be down, but whatever. The other company just doesn't want to be involved and try to get this money out here in these streets. So with that being said, I guess you'll be petty ants and just watch us from somebody else's house or whatever. And because I know they're gonna watch.
Everyone's
Definitely 1,000%.
They're gonna watch. Like they have to see it, especially that they're at this Wembley Stadium. Like it's one of the biggest. Like they're gonna watch. They have to. But somebody's watching. Somebody in the crew is watching. Somebody had the assignment. They're like, I'll take that assignment.
Oh yeah. All the wrestlers are going to be watching.
Oh, all of if they're not even like there, because most of them are all friends. So,
So it's funny you mentioned that, Chrissy, because I'll say this here, and I'll say it. It's at the 6:40 mark for anyone who wants to clip this. I have it on good authority. WWE has contacted an employee, or maybe multiple employees, to go to All In to spy.
Oh yeah.
I have it on good authority.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
Again, that's what I'm saying. Like, I know, that's why I said, I know some will be there for sure. Not only as they are
binoculars.
Right.
Yeah. It's not me. I'm innocent, by the way. It's not me.
They're gonna have the mask on. They're gonna have sunglasses. They're gonna look like a celebrity, but it's really just a WWE employee. But yeah, a lot of people is gonna be watching this Sunday for sure.
For sure, they have to see like what it is. Like, I mean, they want to know if it's actually 80,000 people that will be there. They have to get that number. So they're like, oh, this wasn't even.
And I have it on good authority. They're already questioning if it is.
Oh, of course.
They're already passing around the rumor. Oh, Tony Khan bought most of the tickets.
Yeah,
that's what I've been told by an employee.
Like they don't buy tickets themselves. Like, come on, like guys, come on.
Can't tell nobody. Right. Guys, thank y'all for joining us for this preview here. Remember to drop the thumbs up on this video. Share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you're new to the True Hill Heat YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. But most importantly, like Joe said, like Red said, we've had a tough week for wrestling. And of course, yesterday with the passing of Bray Wyatt, we did a special stream where we did super chat donations that we're going to donate to the Rotunda family. And we're going to do that for all of our streams for the rest of the weekend, including this one, including True Hill Heat tomorrow, including our watch along for All In and our review for All In. So any super chat donations that you can contribute will go directly to the Rotunda family. So if you can give back, you can, or you are financially stable enough to do that, we would appreciate it. We do already have a super chat donation here from Pylons, who says, happy Friday. What you all looking most forward to on Sunday? So before we get into any of predictions, the one match, one thing you're looking forward to the most on Sunday at All In. We'll start with Chrissy.
I'm looking forward to the main event. Is Adam gonna turn? Like, is that gonna happen? We want to know. Inquiring minds want to know. I'm looking forward to the whole show in itself. I want to see what the set is gonna look like, the production. Like, I know it's gonna be a great show. So
Reg, what about you?
Most looking forward to probably Fozzy, Judas, and my bathroom break. Yeah, I was like, what's the part of the show that I'll be able to run to the bathroom real quick? Soon as I hear that first guitar lick, I'm out.
You going? You want to sing along. You got to sing along. Come on.
It's connected to that match though, because Will Ospreay is on this card, and I just want to. Will Ospreay is considered by many to be the best wrestler in the world, so I want to see what kind of match is he going to take Chris Jericho to at this point.
Probably one of the best ones he'll ever have.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
Joe, what about you? With the best, so.
Well, I've had a lot of frustrations with the way it's been presented on TV, but at the end of the day, folks, this weekend I'm going to see CM Punk and Samoa Joe wrestle in 2023 in front of 80,000, and like I think they could have told the story better on TV, but that match making it to that stage is as a moment in time, you know, and as someone who has a real affinity for that generation of guys and that era of guys, and it's a dwindling list, right? And I don't expect them to have the match they had in 2004, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be a good time. And the atmosphere for that match is going to be special, I think. So that's my pick, just purely on a sentimental level, I think.
Like, can I change my answer? Because I like that one too. I forgot about
that.
Yeah.
The
match is
so
crazy.
So much you forget what's actually on the damn card until we go through it right now. But your answer too, like, freaking Will Ospreay, my boo. I'm like, damn, like that's a like.
I'm gonna go with FTR and the Bucks. Yeah, because we've seen them have one of the greatest tag team matches of all time in front of like 30 people at Daly's Place. We saw them tear it up and have one of the best Dynamite matches last year in front of like 4,000 in Philly. And now we're gonna see them in front of 80,000 people, and I feel like the outcome is not predictable. The outcome is not predictable there, especially with everything that's gone down in the lead up in real life for that matchup. So that's why I'm looking forward to that match the most. But yeah, I could. Everyone has a different answer, and that's what makes this card. It's a very interesting card here. We got MCAS who says, "Oh damn, it's an all-star crew. Well, except SP3. LOL." Yes, this is true. We got here Robio who says the crowd and how they end the night with MJF Cole. We know the next step in the story, but wonder how they get there. Yeah, that is very true. That's very true. And we got another super chat donation from Raleigh Walker. Thank you so much for that. He says, Joey Bing Bong, have fun at Wembley. Be careful when you do. You're running on Mox.
Yeah, I've got it all pre-mapped out. I was at the building today, kind of running through where I'm entering the deal, and we've got some stuff planned. I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but keep your eye out for a bearded white guy at Wembley. Not like there'll be many of them, folks. You know?
Right, like 80,000. There could be and it won't be 10,000 here.
It won't be Where's Waldo, let me tell you.
Carry the one, and you got that many. Oh, but let's get into this card because I know Joe's gonna have to be there. He's going to probably have to leave now to go to Wembley to be there early for 5 p.m.
Lining up already.
People to be there at 5 p.m. because they keep telling us this match will open up the show at 5 p.m. UK, 12 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be on the 0 hour. The main event participants, the AEW World Champion MJF, will team up with his challenger in the main event, Adam Cole, to verse Aussie Open for the ROH World Tag Team Championships. Better Than You, Baby, has been probably the hottest story in WWE, in all of wrestling. WWE can't, at the Bloodline, they messed up, so they can't compete with this right now. This is the hottest story in wrestling right now with Better Than You, Baby, and they're kicking off the biggest show in wrestling history. We'll start with Reg. Who you got, Better Than You, Baby, or Aussie Open?
First, would you call this story between MJF and Adam Cole cinema?
I would call it cinema, but it's my type of cinema. It's a comedy. It's a buddy cop cinema. I don't need all that dramatics in that high school theater bullshit that family does. Give me
please, whatever. Now you, whatever.
All right, okay.
Right, like the dramatics over here.
Okay, but
you dramatic.
I know, seriously. The match though. Okay, so I have reservations as someone who covers Ring of Honor, SP3's big Ring of Honor fan. These tag team championships, it's been a whirlwind roller coaster of a year for the Ring of Honor tag team championships. We dealt with Jay Briscoe. After that, the Lucha Brothers were the tag team champions, but they never defended them except for on AEW TV. And so they get to Aussie Open and they're cooking. Like, we're seeing them wrestle everywhere. They're on Ring of Honor. They're on AEW TV. They're on all the shows. Like, they're defending these championships. They just wrestled the Hardys. And it's like, I want this to continue, but I'm like, they also just had all these successful defenses. Like, how do you tell the story in the main event of Adam Cole and MJF without them winning the belts? And it's like, Denise on our post show makes a good point. She's like, I don't want to see two losers in the pre-show be in the main event. Like, how much sense does that make? So it's tough, but I can't see Adam Cole and MJF not walking out of this match as the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions.
But also, friend, I got one for you. Them losing will not only make the story pivot where you'll now have a frustrated Adam Cole. So now you feel like, okay, I don't know if he's going to win in the main event, but some kind of way that heel turn or that like doubt and frustration will kind of play its way into the story some kind of way. So I have the opposite of you, friend.
Okay.
I have them losing, and the losers will be in the main event. And this is how we will have the pivot of the cinema of this comedy turn into a drama series.
I like that. I like that.
Thank you.
All right.
I'm only here for a couple of hours, guys. Thanks. Hey, Juice agrees with me. Yes.
Who you got? Better Than You, Bebe, or Aussie Open? And what have you thought about this whole story leading up to this match?
I mean, it's been very, very effective. It's some of the skits and such aren't like my thing, but my God, I mean, it's just so over. You kind of have to appreciate it, right? And they have great chemistry together. I'm leaning to Reg's side of the debate. I think, though, I just think I don't think you're going to beat either guy before the main event. Now, what I will say is, you know, I think this is a pretty daring play, and I actually like it because it's really different.
Yes.
But
no right or wrong answer. That's what it is. That's the whole point of leaving us in like this way of like, damn, like we don't really know. And that's what it is.
It's interesting because every time, whenever you predict this, you kind of get back to the root question of why did they feel the need to do this on the same night, which does make you wonder if there's some surprises up their sleeve. But I think they win the belts. The match, I assume, would be very much like what they did with Cage and Big Bill, where it's like a house show match because like. You cannot risk dudes doing.
No.
You cannot risk it. Like wrestling's cruel. Like you cannot risk that. So
absolutely not. Could you imagine?
Right. So I would expect a lot of crowd work, and it'll warm the people up. They're going to get a huge reaction. Obviously, probably first out will be their theme, right? So this will be a crowd pleaser. I think we get new tag team champions, which is MJF being a Ring of Honor tag team champ is very funny for a range of reasons. And poor Reg, I don't know if you're going to get many MJF matches on.
No, that's the thing. No, that's the thing.
I know, man. I'm sorry.
It's a give and take. It's a give and take. We got Romeo who says Adam Cole worried about ROH tag titles on a night when he's main eventing for the AEW World Championship is mind-boggling to me. Mind-boggling. You're just not thinking smartly. That's why I think Aussie Open's going to win. Wow. Because this is all a part of Adam Cole's plot. He's the one that talked MJF into being into this match. Yep. So you do, MJF comes out because the whole reason they're doing him on the 0 hour is to have the poeticness of 5 years later. He's the first guy to come out. He comes out, and then Adam Cole's music hit, the combined music hits, but Adam Cole doesn't show up, and they go to the back, and all we see is Roddy and the Kingdom on top of a down Cole. We don't see them attack him, but we see Cole attack backstage. So MJF has to work the match alone. And then Cole comes out, and then he loses on like one move. And that's how they lose the matchup. And
I like that. I like that.
Of the plot for Adam Cole to weaken MJF before the main event.
I like your story better than mine, friend.
Uh-huh.
That's that thinking right there, yo. That's that director's plot right there, man.
3D chess. It's not mind-boggling. You got to think about the story. MJF did not want to do this matchup. He did not want to work twice. Adam Cole talked him into it. There's a reason why. Aubrey saying that Roddy cost them. That can also be it. There's so many
stories. Yes, so many ways. Yep.
We got
yeah.
Romeo who says, I can see one of MJF and Adam Cole getting a kayfabe injury and the drama in the main event of whether or not one of them will work on their opponent's injury. Yeah, I can see that.
Too. Yeah,
that's good too.
No right or wrong answer. That's what makes it so good. That's why we're wrestling fans. Like, this is
Mhm.
what makes it so like amazing. Like, we just don't know what we are going to see on Sunday.
Mhm.
And the story they've told with MJF and Adam Cole, we'll talk more about when we talk about the main event. But let's talk about the main card. Well, the other match we don't know for the 0 hour that has been announced. Tony Khan announced it on AEW Unrestricted. Is going to be Jack Perry defending the FTW Championship against Hook in a rematch. The FTW Championship. He's supposed to retire on Saturday on AEW Collision, but of course, that's already been taped, but we'll start with Joe on this one. Who you got, Hook or Jack Perry?
You know, when you say things like that, it really makes me question the integrity of these wrestling promoters. You know, sometimes I wonder if this stuff's all above board. I don't know, but this is an interesting one because it's like I don't think you want to beat Hook again, but at the same time, it kind of feels like too soon to just like immediately end the thing that Jack's doing on TV right now.
Right.
I think you can get more heat out of the FTW things, but I'm going to say Hook purely because I don't think you're going to do a no finish, and I wouldn't want to beat him again, you know?
Right.
I'll say Hook kind of hesitantly. I actually thought they were going to go with I thought they were going to go over tag and put Van Dam with Hook for this deal. I thought that made sense for the stadium, but then again, I'm aware that everyone's very mad about all the tag matches already on the show, so I'll leave that. I'll just say Hook.
Just even saying tag match out loud, Joe, triggers people.
It's like, that's a curse word. You said the T word. Oh no. Reg, who you got here? Hook.
Yeah, tough one. Jack Perry's been on a pretty good run since he's turned heel on Hook. So I'm liking everything that he's doing, but I feel like they want to get a big Hook win pop here to kind of set the night off. I think that's like an easy one. And Jack Perry doesn't lose anything by losing. Like, he shouldn't really be the FTW champion anyways. And I think he kind of got what he needed out of this little run so far. So I can see Hook getting the victory here on Sunday.
We got to reunite the family too. We need Jack Perry to be back with Christian and Luchasaurus. He still has some more learning to do. I agree with that.
Question mark.
And Edge. Oh, that's that. The new brood.
Whoa.
Okay. Jurassic Brood.
Jurassic
Brood. There we go.
And Jack Perry looks like both of them when they were younger. Like, this is kind of okay.
He'll start wearing the puffy white shirt and stuff like Christian.
Yep.
Awesome stuff. Awesome. We just booked it. We just booked it, folks.
What's happening? Like, you already got this, like, all these gems just spewing out all that
for free,
for free, y'all. I'm gonna go with Hook as well. I think that especially if I'm having Aussie Open beat better than you, baby, you got to have a big pop on the pre-show. So Hook beating Jack Perry makes sense. Chrissy,
I agree. Hook has to win. Jack doesn't lose anything from this. But yes, definitely, like, have him get back with Christian and Luchasaurus. Like, oh, see, I had to leave you to let you know, like, this is what you needed to do. Now you might come, my child. Come back to us.
He said he loves being mentored for kids with dead fathers. So
you know what?
Prove it, sir.
Right, exactly. Like, write it in the story. We don't want much, just a couple of tickets, maybe. You know, little class.
On the main card, they're going to bring back one of AEW's signature matches. It's going to be Stadium Stampede, Wembley Stadium Stampede, as it's going to be the Blackpool Combat Club's Jon Moxley, Claudio Castagnoli, and Wheeler Yuta teaming up with Santana and Ortiz, returning proud and powerful to face the best friends, Trent Beretta and Chuck Taylor, Orange Cassidy, Eddie Kingston, and Penta El Zero Mero. This one has been building over the last couple of weeks. Ever since Blood and Guts, Blackpool Combat Club has been beefing with the Lucha Bros as well as Best Friends. They took out Pac, so Lucha Bros have basically a personal vendetta against them. And then the Blackpool Combat Club went up and took out Phoenix, stretching him out, taking him out of this matchup completely, with Santana and Ortiz holding back Eddie Kingston. Eddie Kingston has to stand across the ring from 3 of his former best friends in Jon Moxley, Santana and Ortiz, and his sworn enemy, Claudio Castagnoli. What is going to happen in this matchup? Falls count anywhere in Wembley Stadium. Chrissy, who you got?
Okay, so first of all, Eddie Kingston is not much of a winner anyway. We love you, Uncle Eddie, but it's kind of stacked on your end of the woods, friend, that you're with the Best Friends and okay, Orange Cassidy. Yeah, they're not winning. I got Blackpool Combat and Pride and Powerful. Why not have them be back as heels? They can't lose. They just got back and reunited. And I like that they're with the bad guys. We love the anti-heroes. We love the bad guys. We're heels.
Hey, they were aligned with the Blackpool Combat Club before they got injured. They're kind of disconnected from all of this. The only thing Ortiz remember is that Eddie turned on him when they were beefing with House of the Black. So
then there we go. So that, see, why not? We would not come back. And they look great and they look amazing. They have to win. Blackpool Combat, Proud and Powerful for the win, friend.
What we're really trying to say, folks, is that we are the exceptions to the rules. Me and Chrissy, we're actual New Yorkers that are good friends, because Eddie Kingston done had all his friends turn on him. I am going with the Puerto Rican Combat Club of Santana and Ortiz and the BCC. Reg, who you got?
No, I can't.
First of all, Proud and Powerful is and always will be a terrible tag team name. I hate that people ever call them that.
Yes,
it's god awful. I wish
totally
they would. I don't know why they ever thought that was going to be something, but it's just god awful.
You work with AAA, just ask Conan for LAX name.
Exactly. And I can't even say they're back because they don't even look like they're back. It looks like 2 individual wrestlers that are standing on a team together. So, but on that note, I am going to go.
We did not see them embrace on Wednesday.
No,
we did not see them embrace.
And did you guys read their tweets? Go back and read their tweets. One of them's like, we're a cool team. And the other one's like, it's all about me. So I don't really.
I did see that on Instagram, friend.
Yeah.
One was like, I'm back with my friend, but he was in a picture by himself. And I was like, that don't even make sense.
Are you friends with John Cena? Because I don't see nobody on this picture, my friend. But yeah, Blackpool Combat Club, Jon Moxley, a giant stadium. He could do whatever he wants. You cannot bet against this man that's going to come out here, punch Joe on the way to the ring and win this match. There's no way you can bet against Jon Moxley in a stadium stampede when anything goes. I can't.
Yeah, that's very true. Joe, we know where your loyalty lies, but who is your prediction for this matchup?
Well, pretending I'm not going to get involved in this, I will say that I think poor Chucky T is going to be the fall guy here. I think Santana will quite violently get the win, because I think they're going to try and run with him as like a singles heel. AEW has the brand split, but not really a brand split. Don't tell anyone about the brand split, but I think they have a brand split, and I think that will benefit Mike Santana now. So hopefully that goes well for him. And I have the one thing I'd say about this match is, with all love and respect to the folks in production who have a very hard job. It's been a rough couple months, and this match could test them to their limits. And
test them to the limits. What?
I'm going to be in the building for this, but let's be real. Like, that stadium's too big. I'm going to be watching on the screen for most of this thing. And folks, this could be a mess in that regard. So
should I go to the bathroom at this time because there's going to be too much going on?
I mean, if they can catch it, I'm sure the wrestlers will be doing great stuff. It's more a matter of like them catching the right things at the right points and having set pieces that a stadium can appreciate.
Right.
Because it's basically going to be Anarchy in the Arena, right? Like, it's not going to be the original.
And this year's Anarchy in the Arena, the only nitpick I had was production, not catching everything.
Right. And that was in a building with 10,000. And
there wasn't 80,000 people there.
Right. So I have to admit, Eddie being one of my favorites ever, I am slightly concerned about that. But, it's not for me to worry about. I'm sure it will be a hoot. And I'm sure that Eddie and Mox are going to have some insane funk tribute spots to spice in there. So I think it'll be a really good time. But I got Santana over Chucky T for the finish, I think.
I I could see that. I
like
could see
it.
that. I got Aubrey who says it's because Orange Cassidy is on the team. They're winning. With the opposite team there.
I mean,
MCAT
No, ma'am.
saying
Sorry, Aubrey.
OC versus Mox at All Out, then Eddie versus Mox at Grand Slam, lights out match. I do see it being Orange versus Mox at All Out, but I think it's going to be Eddie versus Claudio at Grand Slam for the ROH World Championship. What about y'all? Do you think we're getting Orange and Mox at All Out next week?
There is a lot of buzz that it's Eddie and Mox in Chicago, but that may be people just mocking me privately because then I'm going to be there. So both those things are possible. You know, I'm not sure.
I don't care. I just want to see somebody bleed and get their ass kicked.
Yeah. Well, that's a pretty good. That's a pretty safe
Mox
bet with
anywhere.
Moxley.
Yeah, he'll be there for one of them. Yeah, I could see. I think at All Out, I could see the Orange Cassidy and Mox match happening. Yeah. And I think Mox is going to be the one to take that championship from old OC. It's wild. It's wild stuff here.
I'm about to say, is that we finally see the loser of Orange? Because I'm sick of him right now by now.
Damn. Whoa.
Like, whoa. Sorry, I'm sorry, not sorry, friends. Okay, like Swerve should have been won that belt. Like, I don't know how long ago.
You're right.
So now we have to give it to Moxley. So now one more person has to stand in front of Swerve. Okay, great. Like, sure, no problem.
Chrissy's spitting though. I get it. No,
I'm
you're right.
so sick of, like, Orange had it for like how long now? Then he had the other belt. Like, he's good. I know. I like him, but I'm just sick of it. I'm over it. I need someone else now.
Chrissy is nothing but honest, folks. Nothing but honest. Romeo saying if it's OC and Mox, wouldn't you have those two factor into the finish here? Not necessarily, because you don't. Yeah, you don't want to have Mox pin OC. You don't want to have OC pin Mox. They could be involved in the finishing sequence, but they don't have to be involved in the finish. We got a new member, Ash Vinash. Thank you so much for becoming a member of the YouTube channel. Appreciate that. Now you got your in-chat perks that you can use, Ash Vinash. Thank you for joining us here. Next, we got what is being billed as a dream match. And in my opinion, I said during our SummerSlam preview that Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler had a mess of a fucking feud, but they stuck the landing and did a 450 on the landing with those video packages they did on Raw ahead of the matchup. This was AEW's version of it, as they sold me on a Chris Jericho match in 2023.
Facts.
The promo from No, stop it. Will Ospreay sold
Jericho. Will Ospreay pulled a great promo out of Jericho. They sold this match on Dynamite. Chris Jericho going one-on-one with Will Ospreay. This all comes from Don Callis trying to recruit Chris Jericho into the Don Callis family. Chris Jericho accepted the invite, but Don Callis didn't believe that Jericho would say yes. So he had a painting made of him being beheaded because he was handing his head over to the aerial assassin himself, Will Ospreay, in his home country of the UK to go one-on-one with Jericho. Ospreay attacked Jericho. They nailed him with the picture frame. And then this past week on Dynamite, they completely sold this matchup based on the personal vendetta between these two men, a matchup that was supposed to happen 2 years ago in the Tokyo Dome. Will Ospreay saying how important this match is. This match is gonna put his kid through school, bruv. It's gonna put his kid through school, bruv. He had the fans wanting him. He said, "Pipe down, bruv." They was like, he said, "Pipe down, bruv." They literally piped down. Oh my God. Will Ospreay, I've seen him have so many breakthrough matches over the last 5 years. This felt like a breakthrough promo. And he's had great promos. He's been a great promo guy for like the last 3 years. You just didn't know it. This was a huge stage and he hit it out the park. Jericho comes back saying he's the reason why Ospreay's not in a wheelchair like his heroes, Dynamite Kid and Hayabusa. I was like, Jericho, that's the Jericho that we want to sell a matchup. They sold this match completely. It felt like a UFC weigh-in more than a contract signing. Joe, who you got here? Jericho, Ospreay, Wembley Stadium.
I completely agree about the way they've heated the match up. Again, atmosphere for this one, right? It's going to be big time. We do have to establish the elephant in the room. Reg mentioned it earlier. I will approach it slightly differently, but Chris Jericho doing a live performance is very scary. for many reasons. For many reasons, but on a sincere level,
I hope he spins.
I'm slightly concerned about, what state that will leave Chris in when he steps through the ropes.
I didn't even think about that, Joe.
Right? Like, I mean,
his cardio is gonna be all off.
I didn't even think about that.
You're
And it's supposed to be a long ramp too. Like this could be all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
Doing too much. Doing too much. You didn't have to.
Assuming he's okay once that gets done, I do think they're gonna have a great match. Genuinely, like Ospreay works as such a clip, and his energy is such. He's not gonna have a bad match at Wembley, and I think there's a version of this matchup, if it's based on physicality, that could really rule. Because we saw Jericho have some of those last year.
Mm-hmm.
I have some slight concerns about Jericho trying to have like the Will Ospreay match.
Right.
That's the worst version of the match. And it will still be good, I think. But hopefully it's physical and it's vicious and violent the way the kind of promo alluded to it being. And I think Ospreay wins. I think Jericho's very aware of the way people talk about him on the internet and does not want to have to log back on Sunday night after beating Will Ospreay at Wembley. So,
right. I wouldn't think so.
I think Ospreay over him will probably be a great match. So, yeah.
I agree there. Chrissy, who you got? Jericho, Ospreay.
First of all, I didn't want this match to happen until Wednesday happens. I was like, you don't need to fight him. Like, you're better than him, bro. Like, you don't need this. Like, it's okay. Mm-hmm. But I guess a check is a check, and he needs this check, obviously, he said. But I have Will, of course, winning. Didn't put in the factor, like Joe said, about him performing. Like, so you're going to perform right before. Is it a part of your entrance? Like,
he is, yeah.
Yeah.
He's doing his entrance.
He's doing Judas.
You know how to. You have 80,000 people. Like they just could have sang the whole song themselves, right?
Yeah,
like you
tell
didn't
me
need
about
to do
it.
this. They do it every week. Like you don't need this.
He gets to say Fozzy performed in front of a sold out Wembley Stadium.
He told his bass player, "Look, I'll get you guys tickets too. Maybe you can even perform." And they were like, "Cool, dude, let's do it."
He probably played for all their flights and everything too.
Yeah, totally.
I got Will winning. I mean, let's see what Jericho can pull out of this. Maybe be probably one of his best matches. I hope that it's not the Ronda Rousey and Shayna effect of anything, but like, because that's very scary. I'm like, Lord, please don't let that be the factor of this all. But yeah, I have Will definitely winning. He's not losing. Like, Chris Jericho can afford to take L's any day of the week.
Reg, who you got? Jericho, Ospreay.
You guys are not giving Mr. Y2J Chris Jericho enough credit. If anybody can politic a win in Wembley Stadium against Will Ospreay, it's Chris Jericho. I mean, he's even in the match at all. Like, let's start there. Like, how did you get here? Like, what do you mean? Like, when they're going down the run, they're like Ospreay and Chris Jericho. How the hell did we get his name on here? So I don't really like, if you were to even politic your way into the match, I could see you being like, well, I should probably win because Chris Jericho. Like,
I'm the bigger star, obviously.
I can see it, but
I'm mad now because I can see that shit happening.
It's Chris Jericho. It's Chris Jericho.
Oh,
but with the promo that Ospreay did on Wednesday, saying that he will have beaten Kenny Omega, Okada, and Chris Jericho all within a 2-month span. You spot off some facts like that, I think you're probably going to execute and end up getting the victory here, just so you could continue saying that leading into this last 6 months and you getting that big money contract next year. So yeah, Will Ospreay is going to come in here. He's the best wrestler in the world. There's no reason in the world that Chris Jericho should be beating him, but it is Chris Jericho.
Yes, I do agree with Reg. That's why it's a lot tougher of a decision for me when you take into account it's Chris Jericho. Yeah. Man, how many times has he lost? He's won these matches that he wasn't
a big match.
To win.
Come on.
But it's in front of the hometown.
I saw him beat Brian in Chicago last year. Why does he beat Brian?
He don't care about nothing. He don't care about nothing. None of that. He's like, I'm in front of 80. These are 80,000 of my fans. I don't care that he's home here.
They're here for me. This kid is I'm already putting him over by putting in the ring with him.
Right.
This is ridiculous. I can't. I need to go now because this is blasphemy. This is ridiculous.
I am going to go with Will Ospreay here because I want him to win. And like Red said, that beating these three legends, Okada, Omega, Jericho, in a 2-month span, man, like he just killed that promo. And I said it on a different platform. I'll say it here. If New Japan Pro Wrestling, if Taki Amari and Gato don't drive a Brinks truck to his garage come December, January. He is a guy that wants to stay in Japan. He wants to. He said
they need that. They need that money.
Living situation to be staying in New Japan. He wants to stay. This is the first time they had a gaijin that is this good that wanted to stay. Omega wanted to go to AEW. Jay White wanted to go to America. Like AJ Styles wanted to go to WWE. You have the chance to keep this guy. You give him the biggest offer New Japan has ever given.
Yeah, you're right.
Good luck.
They better. You said good luck.
Yeah, I did not see that. I was like, "Ooh, y'all are giving New Japan a lot of credit."
No, I'm not giving them credit. I'm saying this is what they need to do.
They should. Yeah.
I'm not saying they're
gonna
do
it. If they're smart, they would do it. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Damn.
We got a super chat donation
I'm dead right now.
from Pylons again, who says, "Never count out Chris Jericho."
You just can't. You just cannot ever.
I am.
You could see like in the reflection of Reginald's eyes, like the New Japan horror stories that we'd all heard. Like, good luck. You know?
Yeah, I'm like, hey, yo.
Like, this is the same company that could have partnered up with AEW.
Like they could. I know Jay White wanted to come to America, but like they could have convinced him with money, and they didn't.
Yeah.
So I can't. You know.
Yeah, I do know that. That's for sure. We got Chris who says Chris Jericho wins. We got Ace Shock who's going with Ospreay. We got Annika who says if Ospreay don't win,
that's what I'm saying. Annika, that's what I'm saying. Listen.
And we can't act like, just last year, I would say that was one of Chris Jericho's top 5 best in-ring years of his career.
Yes, absolutely.
Like it's just this year he has not had the best of matches. I would say that Adam Cole versus Chris Jericho at Double or Nothing is in the top 5 worst AEW matches.
God awful. Oh,
that was very bad.
God. Oh, yeah.
It killed that crowd in Las Vegas.
When was
that?
I
was in that crowd and I was like, this is terrible. I hope that
was
Chris
in May,
Jericho
right?
does not show up to this show. So I'm interested to see if because Joe was like, I hope Chris Jericho doesn't try to work Ospreay style match, and I'm like, I think he's going to try to. I think he's gonna watch those Kenny Omega matches and be like, let's do this, and it's like, no, you can't do that. You can't do that
because he did that with when AJ came to WWE, they had those matches where Chris was like, "I'll be a cruiserweight again."
Yeah,
he should be like a Raw, honestly,
This ain't 1999. This ain't even 2009 because he had those cruiserweight matches with Rey Mysterio back in 2009.
Yeah, absolutely.
That'd
be interesting.
This is true. Romeo saying if you saw Ospreay in the G1, he got a good match out of everyone. Jericho won't have to do much. He got a good match out of Tonga Loa. So
I'm gonna take your word for that. I will not be viewing that.
Yeah,
it was a good match. It was a good match. I'm not. That was probably his worst match of the G1, but it was still a good match.
Yeah,
I believe that too.
We got Annika who's just upset at Reg for even suggesting Chris Jericho is gonna win.
Right.
I know.
Same.
Yes, I still have heat, A-Shock, with Gato. Gato, you're a coward. So Yoda Tsuji should be our IWGP World Heavyweight Champion, and I'll stand on that hill.
Let's relax, SP3.
Yes, Yoda Tsuji. He's a coward. He should have pulled the trigger. Romeo finally saying Ospreay and MJF both need 7 figures and to be some of the highest paid wrestlers in the world. I agree there. I agree. 2 of the very best in the world right there. But let's move on to a matchup that got a lot of controversy as soon as it was reported on.
Why?
Kenny Omega will team with Hangman Adam Page and Kota Ibushi, the Golden Elite, reuniting here in a trios matchup against Kanose Takeshita, Jay White, Juice Robinson of Bullet Club Gold. This one is all about the Kenny Omega Don Callis rivalry, since Don Callis turned on Kenny Omega and got Takeshita to kind of be his replacement due to the history between Omega and Takeshita from his time in DDT. You have the Bullet Club Gold Elite drama here, as Bullet Club Gold said they are the best version of the Bullet Club and that the Elite are not the Elite of AEW. You got the history of Kenny Omega and Jay White. You got the history of Jay White and Kota Ibushi. They faced in the G1 Climax in the Tokyo Dome. You got Jay White and Hangman Adam Page. They faced for the IWGP US title in the past. Whole bunch of history in this one. 6 of the very best in AEW. This should be amazing, but a lot of people felt Kenny Omega should have. It looks like you're doing something else, Chrissy. I'm just gonna let you know.
Oh, wow.
She said, "Oh wow."
That's not what it was doing, friend. Don't get your heads off the gutter.
I don't want you to get you in trouble with
like,
Tony Storm or your husband. But a lot of people felt Kenny Omega should be in a singles match on this card. Of course, the reports were he was supposed to verse Bryan Danielson on this card before he got the broken arm. But Reg, who do you got in this match? What have you thought about the build-up? It's been a very quick build-up. It's only been 2 weeks. They shot the angle during the interview with Takeshita and Bullet Club Go jumping Omega. They had the promo with Hangman Adam Page outside of a hospital. And that set up the whole matchup here. What do you think, Reg?
Local medical facility. Local
medical facility.
Yeah. We were going to get Kenny Omega and Bryan Danielson. Like, that's
what it was.
That's the thing. That was going to be a thing. We're not anymore, you guys. Get
over it.
The history that SP3 just told about everybody in this match. Yeah, they just started building it 2 weeks ago, but SP3 just told like 5, 6, 7 years worth of history that's between all these competitors in this match. Kenny Omega and Kota Ibushi in a match together. I don't care who's on the other side. You can have fucking the Guns on the other side, and I'd be like, this is lit. We're about to go in. We're about to be him. But they got Jay White, who has super history with the both of them. Takeshita, who is on fire. Rockhard Juice Robinson, who has been killing it on Collision. Like, these combustible elements about to meet. And Kenny Omega in a big match, it doesn't matter. We're going to get heat. This is going to be super duper fire. It's going to set everybody ablaze. Everybody's going to be like, damn, we should have never been complaining like they always do. Because that's what they do. That's what it is. As far as victories, though, I don't know. This match got me pretty intrigued on who's going to be the one to come out with this. Because I could see them setting up Kenny Omega and Takeshita for All Out next week, which means that could mean anything. Also, like that could mean that Takeshita's gonna get a victory over him, because you get a victory in a non singles match that looks pretty good on your record. You beat Kenny Omega, then he kicks your ass next week.
Period.
I'm gonna go with Takeshita and Bullet Club Gold. Surprisingly, I think they're gonna do it.
That is fair. Joe, who you got in this one?
Yeah, I think I agree. As Reg kind of laid out, it depends what you think's happening in Chicago, right? Like, I don't think Takeshita needs to beat Kenny in a singles in Chicago, because to me, they're going to have such a great match. He'll be elevated in defeat. And I know they've done that a lot with Takeshita. This would be a different level, right? It's a pay-per-view match with Kenny Omega. So with that in mind, I would probably have him beat, I think I'd have him beat Ibushi in London, because that would upset people too.
Wow.
You need to upset people sometimes,
And then you can set up that match too. So you're doing double.
Yeah. Well, that's what I do, Reg. I've been around for a while. I think this would be great in a stadium. You mentioned it. Juice Robinson, he's got himself in this match, and he actually feels like he belongs. He deserves it. There we go. And it's been a really cool story watching his kind of like revival, because for a stretch there, it did not look like Juice was trending in the right direction career-wise, unfortunately.
No.
He's had a great 2023 thus far, so I'm really happy to see him in the match. I think it's going to be a hoot in the stadium, and I'm really looking forward to this. I really am.
I think it's going to be one of the best matches on the show. I got the Golden Elite winning, and I think that it's not going to even be about Omega and Takeshita. I think that's already set up. I think they did enough to preview that on Wednesday. I think that it's going to be Hangman Adam Page pinning Juice Robinson, leading to Juice versus Hangman on Dynamite this week, leading to Hangman versus Jay White at All Out next week.
Oh.
I think that this match is going to be used to set up Hangman and Jay White at All Out the following week. I think that if they're smart, because Hangman Adam Page needs to be in a major matchup next week, and he should have a program of his own. And I think stemming him off, he's more of a guy that can lose to Jay White, but he could still also beat him. So that I think that the Golden Elite get the win here. What do you think, Chrissy?
Okay, so you guys now have like SPS now changed my mindset of like how things are going to go. But I had, first of all, like, let's get over it. You have these 6 guys in one match. Like, what more can you ask for? Like, I didn't even know most of these guys 5 years ago. You understand what I'm saying? Like, this is beyond someone's dream for me to know these guys now and to have them all set up in one match. Like, Kenny Omega has had plenty of single matches. It's okay. He doesn't need a single match every pay-per-view. It's okay. We'll probably get one next week, or he'll probably be on Dynamite. It is okay, guys. Can you put in the factor that we have Ibushi? We have Juice Robinson. We have Jay White. We have Kenny Omega, Hangman. Like, all of these guys in one match is just as big as it itself. Like, and like SP just said, he gave it to you in like two minutes. It's fine. With that being said, I'm going to pick Gold, the Bullet Club Gold. I almost said Golden Elite. But I got the
Bullet Club Gold, Golden Elite. It's very confusing.
It's very gold. So a lot of gold happening, guys. But yeah, I got these guys happening. But I won't be mad at the fact that if Juice does get the L, but then he can kind of win maybe on the other shows, which leads up to the other things happening for
Juice Robinson's here to take the L's for Jay White, man.
That's
what he's here for.
That's what he plays his
the
role.
Guy.
And I love that he's rock hard and he's going to do that all the time. Like, he knows his assignment. He understands it, and he does that very well. So it's okay. Right. I might have my answer wrong, but I'm fine with that. I'm just excited to see this match.
Shout out to Trey Jones, who came up because I said this week that Bullet Club Gold is basically the DX version of Bullet Club, where you have Jay White as Triple H, you have Juice as X-Pac, and you got the Guns as the Outlaws. And Trey Jones suggested Nyla Rose as their China. And I was like, oh my God, I need that now. I need that in my life now to see segments of the Guns, Juice, and Nyla in segments, backstage segments. Come on. You won't tell me that's entertainment? Give me that.
I'm not convinced on the Nyla Rose part. Everybody else I'm all with, but I gotta see it to like give me a week or two of her with them and let's see what happens.
Well, but I love that it's gonna happen. I'm saying that was the suggestion.
The suggestion, okay, but yes, they are the updated version.
Here's another trios matchup on this card. We'll see the AEW World Trios Championships being defended. The House of Black, Malachi Black, Buddy Matthews, and Brody King will defend against the acclaimed Max Caster, Anthony Bowens, and the returning, not daddy ass, but badass Billy Gunn. Tony Khan, pay for ass man. Pay for ass man, Tony. Put
Tony Khan,
where your mouth is.
If you spend your money on ass man, I'm calling your dad to tell him to stop sending you allowance at this point, because the line will be crossed.
Ass man, come on. He loves to love him.
You sang ass man yesterday on the AE Ramble, friend.
I will sing it everywhere. Chrissy, who you got in this match, and why are you upset?
Because we're only giving Billy Gunn a belt because he's old and it's time for him to retire.
Beast. Sounds. I hope you guys do that for me one day. You know,
that's nice. That's a nice parting gift.
I mean, he's won enough belts. Does he need another one? No, not really. Like, whatever.
He's never won a title in AEW though.
So neither has Sting, but no one's calling him for belts either, right?
Look, damn, Sting.
Points are being made.
That was pretty good.
Points are being made.
Just saying. Like, we let them lose 2 times. Now this is the 3rd one, so we gotta let them win. Whatever. Like, because they're probably gonna let House of Black lose when they should have let them lose to someone else. But whatever. I'm a House of Black stan, so I don't agree with them losing, but they're probably going to lose because Billy Gunn has to get a fucking belt before he retires.
Heat with Billy Gunn.
I am also going with the acclaim. I will see Billy as Starcast. Billy, you're a friend of mine and the channel.
See, Lexi, you're missing the whole point. They state facts, and let's state what's I like Billy Gunn. I think he's great. He has made the Acclaim be bigger than they were because they weren't this big before. When they started doing scissor me daddy ass and he left his son, they got bigger. So let's thank Billy Gunn for the things that he has done. Great job. You know what I'm saying? Do you need a belt? No, not at all.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
And you can tell
everyone
him I said
who's
all of that shit
watching,
too. I really don't give a shit. I'll tell him to his face.
everyone who's watching,
but...
you can clip this and put the thumbs up because we have 69 people watching right now. That's the nicest number
Hey,
we've
we love you
gotten so
all.
far
Thanks,
today.
guys.
Yes, put the thumbs up in the chat. Brad, who you got here? I'm going with the Acclaimed. I don't need to explain why. Chrissy kind of explained why, right?
Chrissy got all the way into it, and I agree 100%. I don't want to see Billy Gunn as a champion.
No.
Why? We got the best wrestlers in the world backstage. Why the hell are you winning these belts? House of Black, though, like, I don't know. They're so inconsistent. It feels like maybe they should lose the championships at this point. I don't know what's going on. I like Brody King a lot, though. I really like Brody King so much.
Whose fault is that, though, friend? Is it the booking or is it the team?
Well, I mean, Malachi
it might be the team, my friend. It might be the team.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Malachi could make a few towns.
Yeah. From what I've heard.
Okay. That's fine.
Well, yeah. So I hope that we're gonna get a big Billy Gunn send out. I don't know why Billy Gunn's the one.
Right.
I fell right into that one. I don't know why Billy Gunn's the one.
Yeah. That was the one,
Billy Gunn.
Yeah,
that was very good.
I know. I do this all week, Joe. I do this all week. Yeah, Acclaim and Daddy Ass are going to leave as the champions and hopefully lose them next week to somebody that.
Who you got, Joe?
They want to just get more merch. They want to get more merch that says "Scissor Me," where the 3 triple champion crap stuff. I don't know. Like, it's just 4 more merch for Tony Khan to sell.
I kind of think this rules. Am I like the only one? I think this is kind of awesome. I think this is going to be a massive hit at Wembley, legitimately. I think
it is. They're going to be so happy. I
understand.
Mm-hmm.
But everyone that's there is going to pop. They're going to lose their fucking shit because they're going to be scissoring everybody. Right. No pun intended. But,
I mean, I think it's a kind of great wrestling tradition that we, when wrestlers get old, we just kind of adjust their legacy and pretend they were more than they were a lot of times. And that's definitely happened with Billy. And I think he had a great career. Don't get me wrong, but it is insane he's doing this in 2023. I'm not super into the Acclaim as an act, but I do actually think they've told the story pretty well with this. The House of Black has been an interesting act in that they are great in flashes, and you think, man, this could be really something special. And then as Reg mentioned, it kind of then it goes away again, and it's very up and down for me. I wouldn't be against them kind of doing their own thing, to be honest, individually, because I like them as talents, but I think as an act, they've actually kind of lessened their ability to be valuable. Acclaim to going over.
Okay.
I think it's going to get a huge reaction in the building.
Yeah.
Does Billy Gunn need to win a belt? No, but it's the trios belts, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We could go and win them, fellas, you know what I mean? We could.
That's true.
Sure, let's just give them just.
It is what it is, right? The trios belts.
1 week reign. Why not? Yeah. Why not?
1 week reign. Let's do the courtesy wins, right? We're just gonna let you win just because.
Yeah.
Get the big moment. Last time they were in a stadium, they won the tag team titles.
They did.
Grand Slam, and now
did.
trios. And 5 years ago at All In, the women were featured in a 4-way match. And 5 years later in Wembley Stadium, they will be as well for the AEW Women's World Championship. Saraya will face the champion Hikaru Shida, former champion Toni Storm, and Dr. Britt Baker, DMD Britt Baker, the only participant who was in that 4-way back at the All In, the original one in 2018. Now she is here. All 4 of these women have been involved in this world title scene for the last couple of months, with the Outcasts feuding with the Homegrown Stars. Hikaru Shida beat Storm for the championship on the 200th episode, and all these women had won qualifying matchups to get in this 4-way match. Chrissy, who you got 4-way for the women's championship?
See, this is where it gets fuzzy for me, friends. I feel like Saraya might win because it's hometown, but then I don't think she should win because that's another courtesy winner that we don't really need to give as a courtesy. Then I feel like Sheeta has just became the champ, so I think she should still have a longer run. But then I feel like Thunder Rosa's like creeping in the background some kind of way, like she's in town. Is she in town? SP probably knows. But like, I don't know. I'm gonna go with Sheeta to win, but even then, Toni Storm could be a 3-time champ. So I'm like, damn, like it's just so many like things that can go with this match. But I'm gonna go to Sheeta.
Reg, who you got?
Yeah, I hope that Sheeta is the one to continue this on because the other 3 I just have no interest in. Toni Storm has done it already. They didn't do it as good as they should have on the second run. If Britt Baker wins this, I'm running out of my house. I'm not watching.
She should not win at all. Like, first of all, Britt shouldn't even be in this contest.
Shouldn't be in
like,
the match.
She shouldn't even be in the match. Like, let's stop. Like, I know
her and another person in this match probably shouldn't be in the match. If we're keeping it real, I mean, like,
yes, she's
this is the second consolation prize match that we're doing in a row because you're just giving it up just because like Ospreay is from here, so she gets to be on the show, and Britt Baker did something like 5 years ago that people like get over it. Willow and Athena have been destroying it every single time you put them on TV, but where are they at? They at home. Instead, you got these 2 people that just they're here all the time. They're cool. They have drama in the fucking locker room. That's the only reason that they're in here. Frustrating. Sheeta, the champion.
Spitting facts.
Got fired.
Red spitting facts. He's spitting facts.
Just saying, like, Britt is like Tony's baby. You know what I'm saying? Like, she gets everything she wants. You know, not unlike some other people we know in other industries that get everything they want. But anywho, that's another story. But yeah,
we got Desi who says Reg rants are my favorite part of podcasts. There you go. Joe, who you got in this 4-way? Who walks out with the Women's World Championship?
Yeah, I've definitely got Sheeta. This is all terribly unfortunate. All of this, every single piece of it. The fact there was a tournament where you could like fill in the 4-ways immediately, like it's
stupid. It was just dumb. Like, why do we even have it? Like, it's just, and it's a discourtesy to the women that were in the whole tournament because you already knew that you weren't going to let them win anyway. Right. So it's like, why have a fucking tournament in the first place?
Yeah, should just announce the match.
The only women's match on the show too, unless they add something very late.
People were winning in like 2 minutes.
I had adjusted to Athena not being on this show just because, unfortunately, she's like the only Ring of Honor champ who can only be on Ring of Honor, apparently. I don't know what the deal is with that, but I've adjusted
like,
to
what is this? Like,
the Willow one is like, Willow gets over in every single build. How do you not put her on Wembley? Yeah. She got such a big reaction too. Like, that's the one that's really, because again, Athena should be, to me, Athena should be the AEW champ, but I understand she's doing her thing.
Right.
But Willow's on their TV. I just find this will be baffling, and this match and the way it's came about and the way it's been presented is now like the leading point of anyone's argument about this women's division not being important. Because this is their biggest show ever. And this thing is like, they have put no thought or care into this whatsoever.
Nope.
Right.
And it's just
for Willow. I agree. Just for Willow for sure. Yep.
I think the match is aging where it could be good because when you have a 4-way, right? Like you can plug everyone's best stuff into the match and it can be fine. I'm sure it won't be a bad match, but it's just, there's not any emotional investment because they've not tried to get any. They've just thrown graphics on, and it's a real shame. Sheeta should win, and hopefully we say this all the time. I've done so many of these shows that ended up saying this, but hopefully they do something better afterwards, right? Like that's all you can hope for.
Yeah,
it really feels like injuries has just made Tony Khan stop caring about this women's division. Like we went through the whole thing of Chris Statlander being out, and we dragged the last 6 months of Jade Cargill's TBS title run, and now Jamie Hayter getting that injury. He has not cared since. He has not give 2 damns about this whole division since Jamie Hayter got injured and lost the title at Double or Nothing. I am only judging that on what I watch every single week. I have not saw any effort. You have not even tried to continue the Outcast versus Homegrown storyline. That was the only. It wasn't even that very good, but at least it was a direction for the whole division. Like he just stopped caring, and I 100% agree with Reg. I would compare to, Willow and Athena not being on this card to WWE not having Bayley on WrestleMania 37 2 years ago. That's the same thing. You have the two of the best women's wrestlers in the world today. Like in my top 5 for the year of women's wrestlers is Willow and Athena. And how are they not on this card? At least give them a 0 hour. At least last minute. Tony, if you're watching, add the clip. Add the clip to Collision taping.
Like, get them there tonight. You got the money.
Athena just says, "Oh, I'm making a challenge to anyone," and Willow comes out.
That's it. We're there.
We're in it. That's all we wanted. Like, we don't ask for much. Give them good 10 minutes, and it's good.
As far as this matchup, man. This is rough. Toni Storm losing helps her character. I like this little Marilyn Monroe character. It's cool. Saraya, I don't think should be the AEW Women's World Champion. I've seen no indication that she is capable of having that role. Then that leaves Shida and Britt Baker. And Britt Baker, my lord, I have never seen someone who got mad at somebody for being injured and being away, then become injured and won't go away. She is injured. It's quite obvious. She is injured every single time she's in the ring. It becomes rougher and rougher to watch. That matchup with Taya Valkyrie was like the peak of it, but like everyone is noticing it now, and she just needs to do.
And Taya shouldn't have not lost that match
Take
either.
some time off after this, please. I hope that she just dragged her ass to All In to get on this card. She's on the card. After, take some time off. Shida wins, and then after the matchup, Thunder Rosa comes out to set up Shida Rosa at All Out 2-3 years after their original bout and Rosa's debut in AEW.
Okay.
That's what I got. That's what I think is going to happen. But my lord, Britt Baker, just take some time off. Joe. Joe mentioned this one earlier. This is the match he's looking forward to the most.
Yes.
It is the greatest ROH rivalry of all time. Comes to Wembley Stadium in front of 80,000. CM Punk defends the AEW Real World Championship against the ROH television champion, Samoa Joe. These two men had the all-time critically acclaimed trilogy that put Ring of Honor on the map back in 2004, where they went to 2 60-minute time limit draws, and then Joe won the final bout to retain the Ring of Honor World Championship. They had their 4th bout, and some 20 years later in the Owen Hart Cup, where CM Punk beat Joe with a roll-up to advance. After the match, Joe laid him out, choked him out, beating down CM Punk. He made the challenge, cost CM Punk and FTR the Trios Championships, and then CM Punk accepted the challenge by dressing up like the Golden Vampire on Collision this past week to accept the All-In challenge. I 100% agree with Joe. I expected more for this build-up. The fact that we've not gotten a Joe and Punk face-to-face promo in the ring is a booking travesty. But Joe, who you got on Sunday? Punk, Joe, 5.
Punk is definitely winning, and that's absolutely fine and makes sense and is the right move for AEW moving forward. But to your point, and as I referenced earlier, they could have done a much better job capturing the magnitude of this and the gravity of this. But at this point, we're almost there. I'll do the work myself. It's okay. It makes sense to me how much it means. I've seen Joe wrestle at Wembley Arena, I think, 5 or 6 times, which is the 10,000 seat building next to the stadium. And I never thought I'd see him in the stadium, but I can tell you for sure I didn't think it'd be in 2023 against CM Punk. This is one of those special occasions that, if you know, you know. And again, I wish they'd have done the story in a way where everyone knew, but whatever. It's kind of there if you squint. In a lot of ways, I think this is like the biggest match of Joe's career. I've been thinking about that a lot, and he's had a unique career, and there's a lot of what ifs. He still had a great one, obviously, but I'm really thankful to be in attendance for this. I'm actually very confident they're going to have a really good match. It won't be what they used to have, but that's not really the point, right?
Right.
Like, I think you saw with the Collision match, these guys, they still know what they're doing. Very, very smart wrestlers. They've aged gracefully in that regard, and I'm going to have a wonderful time with this one. I'm really looking forward to it. Punk is going to win, though.
I could see that as well. I'm also going to agree with you. I got CM Punk winning. If it was just a final matchup between the two, if they just build it as the final showdown, I think there would be a little bit more mystery into the outcome. But for the Real World Championship, Punk's gonna retain. Chrissy, who you got?
Yeah, and my heart would love Joe to win, but I know Petty Phil is going to win, and that's okay. I guess it has to deal with the story that they're telling, and maybe they'll get back again next week. Who knows? We'll get another part 2. But yeah, Phil is definitely winning.
Reg?
Y'all are very confident in CM Punk walking out of there with the Real World's champion. I don't think he's going to walk out of there the Real World's champion, you guys. Wow. I think that Samoa Joe is going to defeat CM Punk at All In to set up Samoa Joe versus, spoiler alert on my finish, Maxwell Jacob Friedman at All Out next week. A lot of people are under the suspicion that at the end of the show on Sunday that MJF and CM Punk are going to have some double world champion face off in the middle of the ring to end this show. But I can't see them doing this match on a 1 week build. I know they've been building it for a long time and they could connect the dots really well, but I think they would want to do more to get to CM Punk and MJF in that big showdown. That's why I think that Samoa Joe is going to defeat CM Punk for the World's Championship on Sunday. Samoa Joseph is going to get the big win. He deserves it.
Joseph.
It's time. Time, you guys. It's time.
I love it.
Hey, I would not be mad at that at all. Samoa Joe rocking the Real World Championship and the TV title.
Yeah.
And you guys are saying that
pop Joe's going to give that.
You guys are talking about the build. It's whose fault is that? Every time somebody had the mic, he's talking about somebody else.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right.
It is true. He did have a bunch of opportunities to build this up, and he's been talking about somebody else.
It's a shame too because Joe's promos have been great. It's unfortunate. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Most definitely. We got here Romeo who says, if you ask Phil, he put all these butts in the seats at Wembley. He not losing.
That's right. That's true. It's true.
He probably does really think that. Like
1000%. He's a wrestler.
He's a wrestler.
Like Jericho thinks that he did it, so like why wouldn't CM Punk?
They're all taking credit. Then you got what I think is going to be a co-main event, or should be a co-main event for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. They're not. I said it should be. That's what I said.
Oh, okay.
FTR will defend the AEW World Tag Team Championships against the Young Bucks in the third match of their trilogy. FTR came into AEW back in 2020 and built to their first showdown at Full Gear 2020 in what many people call a beautiful love letter to tag team wrestling. The Young Bucks won due to Cash Wheeler breaking the first rule of FTR of no flips, just fists. Then their second matchup was in April of 2022 for the ROH and AAA Tag Team Championships, where the FTR won the bout to get redemption over the Young Bucks. And now we have this third encounter. So the first time it was FTR as the heels, Bucks as the faces. Then Bucks were the heels, FTR were the faces. Now they're both faces, but it's all about their legacy. Reg, who you got? FTR, Young Bucks 3.
Listen, the reason that this show exists, the reason that there is an All In, the reason that there's 80,000 people in Wembley Stadium on Sunday, the greatest tag team of all time, the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson, got us to this show. Earlier, we talked about the Golden Elite versus the Bullet Club Gold and Takeshita. I think that they're going to win. We need a big elite victory on this show to show that this show is it's all in, all elite wrestling. We need one big pop at the end of the night, and that's the Young Bucks leaving this show as the AEW World Tag Team Champion. Rightfully slow, too. It's been so long since they've been in the tag team division. They should have been there forever anyways. I understand all the trios and nostalgia and all that, but yo, you guys are the best tag team in the world. I want to see you against the other best tag teams in this company. So the Young Bucks are doing it. FTR has been having an amazing run. They've been great. That promo that they did the other day where Matt Jackson just obliterated them and tore them up. And Nick Jackson said the most important thing. He said, you guys have to beat us. We are already the greatest of all time. Doesn't matter what happens. For your legacy, you have to beat us, but I don't think they're going to do it. I don't think it's their time. Young Bucks, new AEW Tag Team Champions. I'm very excited about it too.
I'm looking forward to this matchup. Like I said at the beginning, I think this is going to be my bet would be on this to be the match of the night because I've seen them do it before, and now they're going to be in front of 80,000. Chrissy, who you got? FTR, Young Bucks 3.
Reg just made all the points. Like I really don't have to say much, to be honest. This is our show. We created it. Like we have to win. This is our thing. This is our baby. This is our bread and our butter. Like this was our idea in someone else's like room or whatever, and they thought we couldn't do it, and we did it again, and we're gonna do it again. So we have to win, and the pop that's gonna happen is going to be so big. They got eaten up in the promo on Wednesday, I guess, because someone got in trouble for other reasons. I mean, someone was probably being a pussy, so they had to get a Glock, showed in their face. But it's whatever, That's other things. With that all being said, FTR does not need to win this match. They've done it all. Maybe they need a little bit of a break, but I wouldn't be mad if they did win. But I'm going with the Bucks.
Joe?
Yeah, I think the Bucks were the favorites before we found out what we found out last week. And now it's kind of like, that feels like a more safe pick. I will say that Tony Khan is insane. And if his plan was FTR winning, he probably will not change that plan, regardless of what happened and when it happened and what he knows.
Right.
One thing to look for, I think, is that after this show and after maybe next week's show, more importantly, and everything settles, I'd imagine they're going to want to have like the trios belts as a constant on one of their shows and the tag belts as a constant on the other. Now, the Acclaimed allows you to be flexible with that because they're basically on both shows a lot of the time, right? The Acclaimed are on both TVs. So the reason I bring that up is, Collision is not exactly rich with depth for a range of reasons that we're aware of. And one of the few things they've had as a go-to for TV has been the FTR tag title matches, right?
Yeah.
So
true.
I do not know if the Acclaimed Trios title matches would be a fitting replacement for that. So I'm really intrigued.
You're smart, friend. You're a smart cookie.
I'm a veteran. I've been around for a while, but I'm still taking the Bucks. But I do think there's like more doubt than a lot of people are just kind of logically and fairly just being like, well, with everything that's going on, title change. Wrestling's very strange in that way. So I'll take the Bucks, but with some caution. I think there's a chance for FTR to keep the belts here.
Good collision point, though. That's something that you have to like. Collision's kind of been built off the back of FTR's being the champions and doing the things, though.
I didn't even think about that. I didn't even put that in consideration, to be honest. I was just like, okay.
That is something to consider.
That makes so much sense.
I am going to make it unanimous. I am going to go with the Young Bucks getting the win. I 100% agree with Reg. They're the best tag team of this era, of this generation.
Of any era, SP3. Stop being scary.
Of any era. I think they're the greatest tag team of all time. I am not afraid to say that. I've been saying this for 6 years on this channel. But
people be like the Rockers. I'm like 2 years. Heart Foundation 2 years. Stop giving me tag teams that were around for 2 years. And did any of them have a wrestling company built off their fucking backs?
No.
Absolutely not.
That's the key, and that's
the Road Warriors. No, they were doing cocaine. They weren't them companies having named after them. Okay.
Jesus.
Yo, Reg, we got yo, man, like, I don't even got the words, yo. Like this.
This is what it is.
Making Chrissy get emotional over there.
Right,
but yes, people have to also put into account here. All In 2018, the original All In. Cody won. Omega won, Bucks and Kodo won in the main event. That's why I got Golden Elite winning and the Young Bucks winning. I think that you fit that theme with it, and you had the Elite win out on the night.
Damn it! Now I think they're gonna do the opposite. Son of a bitch.
Shit, right? Damn! Like what the?
Now let's talk about the main event. I think Reg will enjoy this reference here. In what I call wrestling's In Too Deep, with Adam Cole playing the role of Omar Epps, MJF playing the role of LL Cool J.
Yeah.
Who's the shark? Whose hat is like a shark fin is the real question.
Who's the real hero here is what I'm saying.
Ain't that the one where like LL Cool J got Omar Epps like slapped in the face?
It's where Omar Epps is a detective who goes undercover for the main bad guy, who is LL Cool J, to try to take him down. That's what I think is going on here with Adam Cole trying to go undercover as the best friend of MJF to take him down. This has been one of the most riveting world title programs they have ever put together. One of their biggest. And I said it on yesterday on AE Ramble. I'll say it here. I think outside of Omega and Page at Full Gear 2021, this is the best world title program on a pay-per-view they've ever done. And I think that they got to stick this landing to make it the best ever. But who do you got on Sunday? Chrissy, we'll start with you. MJF, Adam Cole, AEW World Championship.
I'm going with MJF to win. I'm not going to go into why. Just going to go with it and just pray that I'm right. I really don't. It does. I mean, I just want to see a good show. I just want to see what the results are. I want to see how this story, is this the ending or is it more of a part 2, like to be continued? Like, what are we getting? Like, you're going to just leave us in like suspense and any other kind of like drama season finale? Like, what's going to happen?
It's the end of a chapter. That's for sure. It's going to be the end of a chapter. I love this comment here by Annika, who says, someone being a pussy because a Glock was in their face. That's probably the most New York thing I heard Chrissy say. That is very New York. It like flied off my back. Like, I'm so New York.
Yeah. You're just like
normal to me.
Yeah, it's pretty New York.
I mean, the person, like, they called the cops. We're not going to do this.
Yeah, no, we got it.
Don't do it. Don't let them goat you in. Don't
I will go down a rabbit hole. Like, just, it's
Reg,
okay.
Who you got?
I kind of gave away my answer earlier, but I think this is everything that's being set up. This is the MJF show, man. Like they are. Yeah. This is his crowning moment. They've talked about for years that he's the next step. He's talked ad nauseum about him being the future of the business. They're really going into the fact that he was on the first match, first show, and all this. And this is going to be at the end of the show, him raising the belt high as the future of this company. And I think he's really worked hard for it and earned it. How they get there, though, is
how exactly
really, yeah. It's like, are they going to do this turn? Maybe they don't do any turn because they've been teasing us.
Correct.
That's the swerve. There's no turn, you guys. We tricked you guys.
Right, exactly.
Because we're all expecting the swerve. Everybody's like, well, maybe it's going to be MJF. Maybe it's going to be Adam Cole. We don't really know what's going to happen. Kingdom's going to be involved. Roderick Strong's going to be involved. There's so much to do here, but I think that end of the night, MJF is going to end this show to show that this is our guy, you guys. We've been telling you for a long time. 80,000 people are cheering him on, and he's the guy. Or booing him.
That sounds. He's our scumbag. He's our scumbag. Joe, who you got? MJF, Cole.
It's a really interesting one, and I agree with your point about the build, and it's also a unique build, right? You very rarely would get something like this for one of the big shows, and this is the biggest show for them. I think they're actually gonna drag this out further, and I don't mean that in a negative way. I just mean I think the turn's happening on Sunday. I think Max is gonna win in a way that is not cheating, but could be taken as a slight by Cole. Maybe something with like a beat along the way that's a little questionable. I think they'll tease the turn, and then Cole and Max will hug to close the show, and it'll be a triumphant ending for Wembley. That's my honest guess, and I think they'll do the turn down the line. Whether people will be satisfied with that or not, I'm not sure, but it does feel like in some ways the right way to end a stadium show in the building at least, right? Because people love their dynamic together. So it's very, very interesting. The match itself is interesting, how you wrestle this match, right? Yeah. Like it's both a babyface match and a heel match all at once, which is pretty weird.
Yeah.
There's definitely room for like almost comedy spots where they're both trying to cheat at the same time and catch themselves. Like, but that's not the kind of match you generally work on top of a stadium show. So I'm fascinated what they come up with, kind of mechanically. But I've got Max for sure. I think it will be somewhat clean, and afterwards they'll remain friends for now. Obviously, the turn's coming, but very intrigued by this, definitely.
One thing we haven't factored in, you guys, there's remember this little contract signing that they had a few weeks ago that we don't know what's in that contract. They haven't played it up super in the story, but it can be a part of this story. So that's one little factor that's looming over this match.
Yeah, that's the thing, that if they want to like say that MJF was playing Cole this whole time, they can have something in the contract. Now, I will say, what I think the best way to end this show, this is not my prediction, I think the best way to end this show is Adam Cole wins thanks to help from Roderick Strong and the Kingdom, and you end the night with a new top heel faction. And MJF, the one thing missing from MJF being a complete babyface character is sympathy. And what type of sympathy it would be for the guy who never trusted anybody, who's the biggest scumbag. He finally trusts someone and they turn their back on him at the first chance they get. That, I think that is the way you set up a program that's the cliffhanger. Like, how is MJF going to get back to the world championship? I feel like that's the best finish. What I think they're going to do is they're going to do a babyface versus babyface battle, and MJF beats Adam Cole how British Bulldog beat Bret Hart back at SummerSlam 1992. He sits down on the sunset flip, 1, 2, 3. And then after the matchup, they celebrate. You think they're going to be friends. And then a Kingdom and Roger Strong come out and Cole turns on him because his plan did not work. So he had a plan B.
There's many ways you can go with this. And the tag match on the pre-show only adds to that list of possibilities. It's very compelling.
Because
this is really
that
good
throws
stuff,
it all up in the air. If they win the ROH World Tag Team titles, then you should end it the way Joe's saying it, with them kind of being together. And then I think eventually it's the Kingdom that takes those titles off of them if they do that.
Yeah, those belts do feel like a clue as to like how big a deal the Kingdom are going to be in this story, right? Because that feels like the obvious place for them to go. So very interesting. Very, very interesting.
Love the fact that there's so much to look forward to, because we're not only questioning who's gonna win this match, but we're questioning who's gonna turn on who. That's the real. That's even a bigger question than who's gonna win the match. Is who turns on who, or do we even get the turn? That's the question going into Sunday. But that is all of the matches for this Sunday's card. I had an interesting comment I highlighted here from Kev Kellum, good friend over from Sportskeeda. He said the all-in card to him is missing something. Am I wrong? Just something I can't put a finger on exactly. To me, I feel like this card has pretty much everything. I think that the only thing I would probably add, and I don't know if they're going to add it on Collision, is like, no, I would even just say simply the TBS Championship, another women's match, a women's
another women's
for the TBS Championship. That's really the only thing that I think is missing, but I don't think that's going to be on the main card. I think that would be an addition to 0 Hour.
Listen,
I would agree. Yeah,
I can see it. But they should have Willow on the show. So
agreed. Willow, that's what's missing. Willow.
Always answer to every question, right?
Willow is the answer to every question. And then Romeo asked one final question for us. Which match y'all think goes first? Reg?
Jericho.
On the main card?
Yeah.
Chicago Phil and Samoa Joe. Yeah.
I think him and Chris are going to be fighting for that opening spot.
They got to get somebody out of there for the rest of the crew. And there's 2 matches with the Elite. Let's get that brother on first.
I agree with Reg. That is sound logic. I am going with Punk and Joe.
We don't need nothing. This is our biggest show of all time. Get that man out of here ASAP.
It's a good call, honestly, because they need the hottest crowd too, you know. So I like it. I like it for sure.
It'll set the tone for. Of course, Ozzy and all of them are gonna be like popping, but this match that sets the tone for the start of the main show, probably would be it. And like you said,
starting the show Cole personality
as fast as we can, because
let's get them out. We can't deal it.
All right, go to the other side of the building. Hurry up. We gotta go. Golden Elite is next. Reg.
Okay,
Right.
so that their trailers are on opposite sides. He
Yeah,
cannot have no one to interact with him. Make sure his food is there. Make sure everything is good for him. He has his what they call it, the whatever the Carter, whatever his thing of things he needs in his trailer.
His rider.
His rider. There we go. Thank you. Friend. See, make sure the rider has everything that he needs, because we don't need any interruptions for this night. If Dave Meltzer and them get a hold of this shit, it's over.
Oh, I think that is a good way to close up this preview here. I want to thank Reg and Joe for joining us. We'll start with you, Reg. Please let the people know where they can find you on social media, the Grapsody podcast, and Grapsody Live coming up at StarCast. Let the people know.
You can find me every Saturday morning with Philip Lindsay on the flagship Grapsody podcast, Fightful Network. I'm also on Wednesday post-show Dynamite with Denise. Wednesdays, I'm also on with Mike for Indeed. Thursdays, I'm on the Ring of Honor post show, and every other Thursday is Ask Grapsody. There's a lot of Righteous Reg all the time. You can catch me next week at StarCast if you're going to be there. Grapsody is going to be live. Righteous Reg, Philip Lindsay, and the man himself, William Washington, gonna be there live and in living color. We're gonna be talking about, I don't know what we're gonna talk about. I don't know what we're gonna do. I don't know what's gonna happen. But I know it's gonna be on fire. I'm gonna be there. I'm probably gonna have some Hennessy. I don't know. It might be in the morning. I'm definitely gonna be high though. So definitely show up.
You know what?
Some weed, let me have some.
I might have to bring you a bottle. I'll be in Chicago, Reg. I might
have to you're gonna be in Chicago too?
Yeah, of course.
The gang is all here, man. We about to have a good time next week.
I'm trying to put 5 on it for monthly. That's what I'm trying to do in Chi-Town.
Yes.
That's what's up, man.
At Righteous Reg on all your socials.
Yes. Another man who will be in Chicago. Joe, please let the people know where they can follow you. Everything you got going on. Damn. Yes.
Mm-hmm. I got 2 things to promote. Firstly, I'm going to be on the WrestlePurists channel in like 20 minutes. So if you want to hear more wrestling talk about the exact same things we just discussed here, we got you covered over there.
Yes.
Secondly, both Wembley and, as the guys mentioned, next week in Chicago, you can get a photo of me for merely $50 or so. I may do you mentioned True Hill, I may drop it to 45, 8x10s. There will be 8x10s. Obviously autograph more than just the mere 8x10 itself, but there will be things available in regards
to. Can I get my Joe Hulbert Funko Pop signed at the airport?
We'll talk price afterwards. I don't do it on the air,
All right. Yeah.
But could you imagine how boring that Funko would be? Anyway, in all seriousness, just a dude in headphones on. But nonetheless, WrestlePurists Late Night Grid. I've been on a bunch, so I'm good on that for promotion. But I appreciate you guys having me.
Thank you so much, Joe, Reg. Chrissy, want to let the people know where they can follow you?
Yes, you guys can follow me on IG, Twitter, on Facebook. It's ChrissyLove_1. Our flagship show, which is every Saturday, True Hill Heat, 11:05 a.m. With my good brother SP and our tag team. Our other partner, which will be Top Guy JJ, will be there tomorrow with you. I will not be there, unfortunately. But
Roman Reigns schedule.
Respect.
Anywho, I'm actually be on there more than Roman, but whatever. Other than that, Servant Face and Hill will be back probably next weekend with my tag partner Stephanie Hypes. Other than that, you find me on Roundtables. I will be on the watch along over on Sunday, so watch that. And yeah, that's it. Other than that, have a great day, friends, and good evening and good night.
Yes. And you can follow me on the Twitter machine at TrueHillSB3. Follow the gang, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at True Hill Heat. And check us out, like she said, tomorrow, Saturday, 11:05 a.m. Eastern Time, the True Hill Heat Flagship podcast, celebrating and remembering Bray Wyatt and Terry Funk. We also are going to go live for tonight's SmackDown. Hopefully, the Bray Wyatt tribute show for Friday Night Warriors. Romeo will be here live. And check out the great content we got on the channel right now, like our Multiverse United 2 review, as well as AE Ramble reviewing AEW Dynamite. And like Chrissy said, join us on Sunday for our AEW All in London watch party. But for Righteous Reg, for Joe, for Miss Chrissy Love, it is me, your True Hill Phenom SP3. This has been our AEW All in London preview. We are signing off until next time.
Later.